Nebraska. We present Huddle Up, a great way to start your day with all the news, weather, and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy, Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports. Welcome to a Wednesday, the 19th day of November for 2025. Mike Will, Tyson Havronic with you as we get you up, get you started here. All your news, weather, and sports that you need to get out the door here this morning. The new college football playoff rankings out last night. We'll take a look at things as we've got a change in the top four after action last week. Nebraska running back Emmett Johnson has been named one of the 10 semifinalists for the 2025 Doak Walker Award. The Nebraska women's basketball team will be in action tonight as they take on Oral Roberts at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Hastings College basketball teams also return to the floor tonight. Broncos will play their second conference game of the season this evening in Crete against the Doane University Tigers. A couple of games you'll be able to hear later on here on Extreme Sports. The Nebraska Kearney women's basketball team, they were in South Dakota last night as they played the Cougars from the University of Sioux Falls. We'll tell you how they did. Got some news from around the National Football League, and we'll get some comments as well during this next hour or so from Nebraska offensive coordinator Dana Holgerson as the Huskers get ready to take on the Penn State Nittany Lions on Saturday. So all that and more is coming up for you here this morning as we welcome in Tyson Havronic. He's back in the Western Studios. Everything is up and functioning today. Good morning, my man.
Yeah, it's nice to be back. We had router issues yesterday. Obviously, there was the outage with the Cloudflare that was affecting some applications, but I was like, well, that doesn't have anything to do with the internet. So they came over, they took a look, and they're like, yep, your router's fried. And I don't know how that just magically happens overnight, but it did. And so here we are, brand new router, brand new system. Big thanks to Allo for coming in and coming in pretty swiftly. Like I made a call first thing in the morning, like I said, and they were down here in a hurry. And I didn't get mad. I didn't have to throw a temper tantrum. I'm like, listen, you guys have worked great for almost 2 full years here in this house and just all of a sudden crapped out. And I did all the fail-safe things, rebooted, turned it off, turned it on again, as the old IT teams will tell you. But we figured it out, got a technician here, and yeah, it was a great service. So couldn't be more happy to be up and running here this morning. And again, tip of the cap to the Allo folks. Did want to start off the show with, I don't know, maybe a welfare check on our KU contingency. We have got Ryan Martin, then Lou Dog, big Kansas fans. Lou Dog, all he wanted for his birthday was a damn Kansas Jayhawk win. Didn't get it. They hung in there. In fact, really, I would say Duke more survived that basketball game. Kansas was shorthanded. It's not like they were running in full strength by any stretch, and they gave the Boozer boys quite a run for their money. This is the first full Duke game that I watched, and it's fun to see those two boys when they're clicking. Throw in the guard doing his thing. Pretty good victory. And I think one that Duke is going to be really, really happy to come away with getting. But what I left was, once that Kansas team comes to full strength, watch out. They could be a very formidable threat moving forward. I left thinking that Kansas is going to be a competitor this year. That's for sure.
Duke wins last night over Kansas by the score of 78-66. So the Blue Devils are now 5-0 in the season. Kansas drops to 3-2. So if you're into college basketball this early in the season, that obviously was one of the biggies last night as Duke knocks off Kansas men's college basketball by 12 points. A couple of notes around the NFL we'll talk about here this morning. Pittsburgh quarterback Aaron Rodgers will not need surgery to repair a fracture in his left non-throwing wrist, and his status for Sunday's game at Chicago will be determined later on this week. They're going to see what he can do in practice this week and his pain level dealing with a fracture in his non-throwing wrist. See how he can handle that, and they'll make a determination later on this week whether Aaron Rodgers will play this week against, who did I say, Chicago. If not, Mason Rudolph would be the starting quarterback for Pittsburgh this week.
Go ahead and say it.
Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer. Just in time for Christmas, we get Mason Rudolph on the field. God. Another quarterback note, quarterback C.J. Stroud. He is out for Houston against Buffalo on the Thursday night football. Stroud is practicing on a limited basis, but he has not yet cleared the concussion protocol, so he will sit out this week. Hopefully he'll be back next week as Houston takes on Indianapolis. So Aaron Rodgers, iffy at best for this weekend. C.J. Stroud is out as the quarterback for the Houston Texans. So if you got those guys in your fantasy football league, make note this morning. Yeah, I had to go to the waiver wire yesterday, come up with a quarterback. When Justin Fields was benched at the New York Jets, I've had enough of him. In and out of the lineup all season long.
Just part ways.
I cut ties with Justin Fields yesterday.
Pick up. JJ?
The pickings were slim.
They are. They're not good. Who'd you get?
I can't remember who I got.
Oh, geez, you don't even remember who the quarterback is.
I don't remember.
That's an amazing first name basis. Hang on.
I got Bo Nixie, but he's on bye this week, so I had to go scrambling into the.
Shane had to cut ties. Oh, you got Bryce Young.
I picked up Bryce Young.
You picked up Bryce Young, the guy you were ragging on last year.
Now, is he going to play this week?
Hell, I don't know. You might have picked up a guy that's not even going to start.
Yeah, I might be going back into the waiver wire again Sunday morning.
No, he's healthy. He's healthy.
He's healthy?
You don't even have a questionable diagnosis. I think there's one of my fantasy football teams that, I'm not kidding you, every single player has a questionable diagnosis going into the week. But I can't drop these guys. The guys that I have on my bench are on bye this week. And I'm certainly not going to drop a potential starter or one of my money makers. So there could come Sunday morning, and because the ESPN fantasy app, I don't know if you know this, it really, ever since Matthew Berry left, has sucked with injury updates. We don't get them sometimes until after kickoff. There's a real possibility that we go into Sunday morning and I have to completely change the landscape of my football team because all these questionable diagnoses are no, he's not going to go. We on this show, and I will give us some applause as needed, we do a better job updating on the injuries than the fantasy football app does.
Well, maybe you got to get up on Sunday morning and watch one of those early morning NFL shows like I do. Yeah, get up and watch ESPN countdown to kickoff I think it starts at 9 o'clock. Get up bright and early. You got 3 hours of pregame information, everything you need to know about NFL football.
Okay, that's a nice subtle plug.
Yeah.
But they don't give all the great info. Most of the time is wrapped in vignettes and stories and these heart-tugging, kind of like College Game Day. It's the same show. It's the same show. We should get on an hour early before kickoff, do our own Sunday kickoff show.
That's what we need to
get
work
our own
Sundays.
Sources. I think it'd be great.
That's what we need is to work on Sunday morning.
Oh, yeah, actually.
Anyway.
Let's roll that back. I'm going to go to the comment section here. Ryan Martin, KU hung in there without Peterson. Good to play without him. To be multi-determinal when he gets back.
Multi-dimensional when he gets back.
Yeah. Losing to Tobacco Road Schools, UNC, and Duke stinks. Then you got Shaner. He's updating us on Survivor. I can let you take it from here.
Yeah, we got two people left in Survivor again, Ty Schleicher and Ty Mortz. They have to have their picks in this week by 6 o'clock on Thursday. Now, if those guys survive into next week, obviously with Thanksgiving, those two guys need to get their picks in by kickoff time, 11:45 a.m. on Thanksgiving Day. So if they survive this week, and we'll hammer that home as much as we can next week, but Ty Schleicher and Ty Mortz are our lone survivors left in our little contest this year. They've got until 6 p.m. on Thursday to get their picks in this week, and then we'll see how they do. But I haven't even looked at the NFL schedule yet, haven't had time. So I don't know which way they would be leaning this week on Survivor. The Veasan boys, before we got on, that's 7 o'clock, they were talking San Francisco. They play, I think they play Carolina this week.
Okay. You need to check your watch, apparently, because we have breaking news. Check your watch.
News? Check your watch, Dad. Breaking news. My watch didn't do anything.
No.
Amber must have breaking news that I don't have.
Call it in.
Yeah, call me or text me or something. I don't know what
We have a phone line.
Yeah, 402-834-1330. 402-834-1330. That's the Hamilton Telecommunications fan line. Or you can leave us a message here on our social media sites. We're monitoring those comments as well. Jamar Chase's one-game suspension for spitting on Steelers defensive back Jalen Ramsey was upheld on Tuesday, meaning the star Bengals receiver can't play Sunday against the Patriots. The ban will cost Chase his weekly paycheck of $448,333. He'll also forfeit a $58,823 per game active bonus. So not a good thing there for Jamar Chase spitting on a defensive player for the Steelers. And now he'll have to be out for this week's game against the Patriots. So, Jamar Chase.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, right?
Let's see. Yeah, I don't know about all this stuff here.
Is it NASCAR related?
No, it's football related. It's on X.
Okay.
A stunning development 2 weeks away from signing day, a decision that has some layers. Breaking news, Dayton Raiola has decommitted from Nebraska.
Oh.
So that's interesting news. Coming off of Rivals X this morning, quarterback Dayton Raiola has decommitted from Nebraska.
Yep.
Well, that would be big news, but...
Sean Callahan reporting, Dayton Raiola decommitting. This is quite the development as we sit 2 weeks away from signing day. Yep. Sam McEwen's all over it. So, yeah, this is developing. Dayton, he's saying deuces.
He's out of here. Gonna go elsewhere.
He was what? He was 2026, right? So let's be logical about it. You've got already a quarterback battle developing with his older brother, TJ Lateef. I think there's a lot of people that thought that Dayton's skill sets were even stronger than Dylan's heading into Dylan's true freshman season. But that said, like, it tells you how thick that quarterback room is, and it tells you, hey, there's a spot that's going to be immediately opened up, and so it tells you that there's a lot of talk.
Dayton obviously doesn't want to set for 3-4 years,
and that's what he'd be doing.
Well, yeah. Now with the emergence of TJ, we know kind of what he can do. Dalton is still there, and then I think we got we still got somebody, a freshman that we brought in this year. His name escapes my memory bank right now.
The room's a little full.
Yeah. Well, this year we got Gramstad still in there as the backup now, but then we have a number 3 in there right now. So, yeah, we wish him well. If that's the case, we wish him well.
Right.
Yeah, we can't sign everybody. We wish we could. Can't sign everybody. So if he doesn't think he can come to Nebraska, play, say la vie. Good luck. Hopefully we'll see you somewhere down the stretch, huh?
He hasn't made a post about it, though.
Not yet. But if a couple of people are already on that.
This is getting reported that he's decommitted, but that's wild.
Yep. So we'll watch that here during the next hour or so. But Raiola, the younger Raiola.
Dayton Raiola.
Evidently decommitting from Nebraska just a couple of weeks before signing day. A couple other notes before we get to the news break. Nebraska running back Emmett Johnson has been named a semifinalist for the Doak Walker Award. That was a foregone conclusion there. Johnson, one of the leading rushers in the nation. The 3 finalists will be announced next week. Of course, the winner will be announced on the College Football Award Show in December. He's bidding to become Nebraska's 4th Doak Walker finalist, joining Amir Abdullah, Almond Green, and Calvin Jones. None of those guys actually won the award, but they were finalists. And now Emmett Johnson is heading in that direction. We'll see if he can become one of the finalists. I kind of expect him to be named a finalist next week. He's pretty well leading the nation in a lot of statistical categories here down the stretch. So some good things happening for Emmett Johnson. Nebraska women's basketball team, they'll play tonight against Oral Roberts at PBA. Huskers looking to go to 5-0 in the season. Hastings College basketball teams are on the road tonight playing in Crete against Doane University. Bronco women are 3-2 on the season. The men are 1-5. Action gets underway at 6 with a women's ball game. Guys will go at 7:45. We'll have the action tonight here on Extreme Sports, beginning with the pregame show at about 5:45. Get some comments here in a little bit from Hastings College men's head coach Todd Reardon as they prepare for the Tigers here tonight. So that is coming up in just a few minutes as you wake up and you get going here. Mike and Tyson on Extreme Sports. Again, if you'd like to chime in, 402-834-1330 is our telephone number, or leave us a message on our social media sites. We'll monitor that as well. What else is going on that we need to talk about here?
Oh, I'm waiting anxiously for all of the. This is my favorite time of the year when you get decommits and recruits high school kids, 17 to 18 years old, right? That are trying to make the best investment for themselves and for their future. But you always get the conspiracy theories, the wild knee-jerk reactions like, oh, well, if Dayton's decommitting, then that means that the coach has hinted that he's probably going to leave, and there's this domino effect of rumors that start to, and then you get sources. Everybody's got their sources. My sources indicate. I just can't wait for this all to start spilling out on social media. I just sit back and laugh.
And it'll happen here in the next couple of hours.
Oh, without a doubt. It's going to dominate the social media today around our area. Our algorithms are already pretty much geared towards Husker and Husker news only, so that's all we're going to see. Go into Sean Callahan's comment section, and right now it's the panic that's setting in at 7:19. The oh no, here we go again, we're doomed. Our quarterback that we never even had on campus has decommitted. Oh no, we're doomed. We never even saw him throw a football. I love it. I love how we can go from 0 to 10 and be at mass panic over one little tiny piece of news. And here's the thing. We still have a great quarterback room.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm disappointed that Dayton may not be coming here.
Sure.
But is the sky falling? No.
No.
He obviously
There will be other quarterbacks.
Obviously, he doesn't think that he's going to step in and play right away, which I don't think he would. I don't think he'll play in a couple of years. Maybe I'd be surprised, but probably somebody got a hold of him, offered him more money, more cash, and he's going to go trying to be a starter next year as a true freshman.
Yeah.
So
that's the only logical explanation, right?
Welcome to the college football world.
Yeah.
The way we know it right now. So that's the problem with some of these commits that we get like 2 years early.
We got him as a sophomore.
Yeah. We're doing it right now. We're out looking at 2027 and 2028 signees, and you got to do it. Nothing against that. You've got to do it. But this is what happens sometimes. After 2 years being a commit, and then all of a sudden things change, the landscape changes at the team you're going to, and not just in this instance with Dayton and Nebraska. It happens everywhere. The landscape change, maybe the coach leaves, or they bring in somebody out of the transfer portal a year before you're expected to get there, and the room has changed. Well, other teams know that too. That's why we got the transfer portal, and how has that thing developed here over the past couple of years? Is somebody else got to Dayton Raiola and probably going to spend a little bit more cash, and he says, hey, I could go there and be a starter as a true freshman. I'll be anxious to hear it from him, but that's probably what happened.
Without a doubt.
So I know you're kind of monitoring your comments over there.
No, I was just you said it. I was agreeing with everything you said. I didn't have anything else to add to the convo. You nailed it.
College football playoff rankings out last night. Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M still the top three. Georgia has now moved into the number 4 spot after Alabama lost to Oklahoma last week, 23-21. Virtually knocked the Crimson Tide out of the immediate discussion in the college football playoffs. They dropped to number 10. Texas Tech now 5th, followed by Ole Miss, Georgia, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, and Alabama. So if the playoffs were held today, I always like this. If the playoffs were held today, Tulane.
Let's go. Green.
The green wave, you can bet green.
Let's go.
Yeah, Tulane would play at Texas Tech in the opening round. Miami would be at Ole Miss. Alabama at Oregon. And Notre Dame at Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. Those would be your first-round matchups if the playoffs were held today, but there's still a long way to go. A couple of weeks left in the regular season. Then we'll have the conference championship games for the conferences that host the conference championship games now. And then we'll have the final rankings out, and we'll see where everybody goes, and that will shake out your 12-team college football playoff bracket for this year and see who's left to play in the other bowl games. The ulcer runs, the participation trophies and ribbons that we'll be handing out.
Bowl games. The only thing they're good for is a bowl game pool. Like that's the only thing. We have to create competition and make bets and literally have something else at stake to make the college football bowl season remotely entertaining. But that's okay. I'm not going to bag on bowl games today.
It's all for the bettors to get through the month of December as well, to keep them active. Keep them active throughout the month of December. You can actually bet a bowl game about every night, starting at about, the mid part of December. You can almost bet a bowl game every single night. It just keeps the action going for the bettors. Yeah, Ryan Martin has just chimed in on our social media sites. Dayton is probably hearing from his brother Dylan about the quarterback room. Yeah. Probably telling him it's not worth it based on the depth that they have. That's just what we said.
There's a lot.
Yeah, he's got an inside track there. He says, hey, big bro, how's things looking for me? Big bro tells little bro, it's not looking good. TJ Lateef looked pretty good at UCLA last week. Did you see him on TV? Oh, yeah. Yeah, and he's only a freshman, too. Maybe I should go somewhere else. What do you think, big bro?
He's 2026 commit, right? And he sees that he's already walking into a two-man quarterback competition. Like, Dayton's going to be having to fight. And who knows? We don't know how the transfer portal is going to play out. We don't know if one of these quarterbacks doesn't get the indication from the coaching staff that that's going to be their guy. I hope that ultimately both quarterbacks want to be competitive. And Rule says straight in the face, hey, we are going to have an open competition come spring ball. And one of you will be named the starting quarterback week 1. I'm not going to guarantee that you'll be the starting quarterback for the rest of the season, but you got to be able to entice both of them to stay somehow, because if you're going to go out and just play blind loyalty to your guy, which I have a fear he will, then TJ might say deuces too, and then the quarterback room thins out, and then Dayton might have been able to recommit. Who knows how this is going to play out? Maybe Dayton's just going to, and here I go, I'm spinning conspiracy theories after I just got done spinning conspiracy theories and bagging on people that spin conspiracy theories. But maybe Dayton sits back and lets to see, hey, if TJ, or I don't think he'd do it if Dylan left, but if TJ goes, then I'll come back into that quarterback room.
Yeah, maybe he's jumping the gun.
Maybe he's just waiting.
I think he might be jumping the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, what happens if TJ Lateef decides to leave and hop into the transfer portal?
How many times can he decommit from a place and recommit?
I don't know. Who knows what the rules are now? So he might be jumping the gun a bit.
He already recommitted in Nebraska once. Like, he decommitted, then recommitted. Then the whole thing with the fallout happened. So then he decommits and recommits again. Again, we've been recruiting this guy since he's been an 8th grader, basically. So
probably
maybe he's just playing patient.
Probably out of diapers. Yeah, we started looking at him when he got out of diapers. Yeah, he's been in and he's been out. He's been out. It's like a tennis match. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out.
That's a good description.
Now he's out. So we'll see. Yeah, he might be jumping the gun just a bit. See what happens here in the next
maybe just
month
testing
or
the
so.
waters.
So, all right, there are a lot of things to discuss here. If you'd like to chime in on the Dayton Raiola decommitting from Nebraska today or anything else on your mind, we got some room to talk to you today on the show. 402-834-1330, 402-834-1330. That's the Hamilton Telecommunications fan line. Love to chat with you here today. If not, you can leave us a message on our social media sites as well. 728, Waking Up with Mike and Tyson. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Governor Jim Pillen announced this week 2 appointees to the Nebraska Liquor Control Commission. Bud Seinhorst of Lincoln has been selected to represent the 1st District, while James Ellsworth of Nebraska City will represent the 3rd. Seinhorst, the owner of Robnick Strategies and former president and CEO of the Lincoln Independent Business Association. Ellsworth is retired and was involved in investigating and interpreting and enforcing rule violations in athletics for the NCAA. 3 members serve on the Liquor Control Commission, each representing one of Nebraska's congressional districts. Appointees are subject to confirmation by the Nebraska legislature. Grand Island Tourism has recently announced the awardees of the 2026 Visitor Improvement Fund grant program. Over $1 million was awarded in reimbursement grants to 14 nonprofit and civic recipients in Hall County. Main purpose of the grant program is to increase visibility and draw overnight guests. Grants are awarded for expansion of and improvements to facilities at any existing or new visitor attraction in Hall County. And in some circumstances, grantees may apply for funds to market events which impact tourism in Hall County. Meanwhile, back here in town, the U.S. Department of Transportation National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is working with law enforcement agencies across the country to make sure you stay safe on the roads during the Thanksgiving holiday. Hastings Police Department has been awarded a grant through the Department of Transportation to work overtime for the Make It Click High Visibility Mobilization, running again from November 26th through the 30th through the Thanksgiving holiday. In 2023, there were 309 vehicle occupants killed in traffic crashes across the nation. 44% of those were not wearing seatbelts. It's 7:30. We'll head back over to the East Side Studios. Mike Will, what's going down in sports?
Again, Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M remain the top three teams in the college football playoff rankings. Georgia is now number 4 after Alabama dropped a 23-21 decision to Oklahoma last week. The Crimson Tide dropped 6 spots to number 10. Texas Tech is now 5th, followed by Ole Miss, Georgia, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, and Alabama. If the playoffs were held today, Tulane would play at Texas Tech, Miami at Ole Miss, Alabama at Oregon, and Notre Dame at Oklahoma. Nebraska running back Emmett Johnson has been named one of the 10 semifinalists for the 2025 Doak Walker Award. Johnson has rushed for 1,131 yards and 11 touchdowns so far this season. The 3 finalists will be announced next week. The winner will be named on the Home Depot College Football Award Show coming up in December. Johnson is bidding to become Nebraska's 4th Doak Walker finalist, joining Amir Abdullah, Almond Green, and Calvin Jones. The Nebraska women's basketball team will play Oral Roberts tonight at Pinnacle Bank Arena. The Huskers are 4-0 in the season after Sunday's 82-70 win over North Dakota State. The Golden Eagles are 2-3 after dropping a 78-69 overtime decision to Tulsa on Monday. Tip-off for the game will be at 7. Hastings College basketball teams will play at Doane tonight. The Bronco women are 3-2 in the season. The men are 1-5. Women's game will be at 6. The men will tip at about 7:45 tonight. We'll have both games on Extreme Sports from the Haddock Center in Crete, beginning with the pregame show at 5:45 this afternoon. The Nebraska Kearney women's basketball team lost to the University of Sioux Falls 62-51 last night in South Dakota. Jillian Ashoff led the Lopers with 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. UNK now 3-3 on the season. They'll play at Augustana on Thursday. That's a check in your sports headlines at 7:33 on Extreme Sports.
Here's a look at your weather forecast, powered by weatherology.com. High temperatures reach up to 55 today. Under mainly cloudy skies, winds out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. 37 tonight. Tomorrow, 56. Upper 40s Friday with a chance for scattered showers, turning much warmer Saturday with highs in the upper 50s. And that's your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Frobley. Currently, it's 36 degrees.
At Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center in Hastings, you can now experience the Balancer Pro lymphatic system, a relaxing, touchless treatment that works while you simply sit back. Using the principles of manual lymphatic drainage, it helps flush out swelling, reduce toxins, ease muscle soreness, and promote total body wellness. Whether you're recovering from surgery, looking to contour and tone, aiming for weight loss, or just wanting to feel lighter and more energized, the Balancer Pro lymphatic system delivers results you can feel immediately. Perfect for athletes, post-op recovery, detox, or anyone who just wants to look and feel their best, because it's for everybody with a body. Come try it today at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings.
I'm John Butler, Funeral Director and owner at Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the Advanced Funeral Planning Specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, Our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Volunteer Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
Get ready for the ultimate trivia experience with Extreme Sports Trivia. Play from anywhere at home, on the go, or at your favorite bar or restaurant. Compete live against players from all over in real time, answering questions across categories like sports, pop culture, Marvel, and more. Want to see how you stack up? Track your progress with live leaderboards and aim for the top spot. It's free, fun, and super easy to play. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today at extremesports.com trivia and start playing now. And keep an eye out. We're coming soon to a bar or restaurant near you.
All right, Mike Wills, Heinz and Veronica with you. It's Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for this Wednesday. Again, thanks for listening to us, watching us today, whether you're on our website at x-streamsports.com, on your smartphone with our free mobile app, your smart speaker, Roku TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, wherever you're listening to us. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you like us on Facebook. Get all of our latest information that we have, including the broadcast schedules and everything that we got going here on Extreme Sports. Just one of the ways you can stay in tune with us. Let's talk some Husker football, shall we? We do have a game coming up this week. It's not all about recruiting this morning. We do have a game coming up this week, and it's kind of an important one as the Huskers play at Penn State on Saturday. Dana Holgerson, the offensive coordinator, was before us yesterday. We talked about the performance by T.J. Lateef in his last ball game at UCLA.
I was obviously happy with, how he handled everything. Thought he played, really good first time out, which we expected him to. I mean, there's a lot of confidence, in the coaches with him. We talked about that, and then he went out there and proved it. I think the coolest thing that, him handling going back home was awesome. Okay, now that was his element too. The weather and Southern Cal is kind of his element right there, and he felt good in pregame, and we even kind of kidded around about that just as far as, the ball was kind of sticky, and he was spinning it pretty good, and he played well. From an offense, it was probably our most efficient game. If you just look at all the stuff that matters that we always talk about, I mean, those numbers were pretty good, from yards per play to critical downs to red zone touchdowns, just all that stuff that it takes to win games. So he was fired up though. I mean, he right before his first drive, he came to me. He goes, I got you, and I got this, coach. He goes, just call it like you normally would, and I did. I called it like I normally would, and he went out there and executed at a very high level. So I think he got confidence from that. I think the team got confidence in it. I think, Coach Rule did an amazing job of getting the guys to understand what it takes when you're playing a freshman quarterback, first start. Everybody needs to elevate their game, and that's what I saw. I mean, I saw a bunch of guys that elevated their game, and hopefully that can carry on into this week. Probably needed a bye week at that point, although you got some momentum. We kind of needed that. So I think we'll be ready to go play. The guys are fired up about practicing out there today. And, this is a different animal, a different element, different elements, different football team, different environment, so everything's going to be different. So, I'm looking forward to see how we play.
Now, the defensive coordinator for Penn State is Jim Knowles. He's a guy who spent some time at Ohio State, at Oklahoma State. He was at Duke for some time, and also I think started at Cornell. So Dana is kind of familiar with Jim Knowles as a defensive coordinator.
Oklahoma State, West Virginia, Oklahoma State, Houston. There's some games that we crossed over, and so I've known him I don't know him personally, but known him for a long time. Very multiple with what they're doing. He was a big stack guy, the whole player at Oklahoma State, and he's still doing some of that, obviously, but they're a little bit more aggressive with it now. They're pressuring more. They're blitzing more. They're not just sitting back in that two-hole stuff, and so he's doing a lot of stuff, and so there's familiarity, but the only thing I can take is what the last 4 games are, and what they've kind of settled into, which is a high pressure, aggressive type defense, and so does a fantastic job with really good players, a lot of really good players out there that are kind of getting their groove back right now.
We also talked with Dana about really the first drives, the first series that Nebraska goes on offensively have been pretty successful for the Huskers this year. We kind of talked about what was behind the success for Nebraska in that first series.
Situations play a part in that, but we got like everybody else, the top 10, 12, 15 plays or whatever it is that we feel good about, that's looked good throughout the week. I don't pick those until after Thursday's practice. We practice them Tuesday, practice them Wednesday, hone in on some things on Thursday, but really study that Thursday tape. And then we, as a coaching staff, make a decision of what we feel like those top plays are, and then what the top plays are in the situational stuff too, And so I just think the guys, they kind of know what's going to get called, in what situations they're going to get called. That gives them comfort. I talked a lot about that with Dylan and stuff when I got here, as far as, being in that quarterback room and hearing, I'm not in there coaching them. That's Glenn's job, but I'm in there, and I'm for simply for support of, like, these plays are going to get called in these times. Okay. And so I think they just have a comfort level for what's going to get called. There's not a whole lot of surprises, but then there is a feel aspect to it too, as well, to where, if some things are going good here but not going good there, I kind of do things that are going good, and that's the flow of that, I think, has been good. But yeah, we've been starting fast, but I think everybody tries to.
Okay, that's Dana Holgerson, the offensive coordinator for the Huskers, as Nebraska gets ready for Penn State on Saturday. It'll be a 6 o'clock kick. You'll be able to see it on NBC this week, so preparations continue for the Nittany Lions. It'll be a tough one. We've talked about that yesterday while we were on this show. So it'll be a tough one as the Huskers take on the Nittany Lions on this Saturday.
Yeah, and I was hoping, that Dana was going to put me through a wall today and inch me a little closer to slamming and chugging down another glass of Roulade before we get closer to Saturday. I'll probably still get drunk on Roulade before kickoff and get ready to roll and turn myself from despair and we're probably going to get blown out and this game's not going to look very good. This game has the potential to really spiral out of control, and it does. This could be one of those games that you look back on and you just shake your head. But I just know as we get closer to kickoff, I'll take a few more sips and then be ready to roll. Another name circulating, and so let's take an over-under bet today. Does Matt Rule, who doesn't typically come out on a Wednesday, I think it's John Butler's turn, does Rule come out and make the address because the reporters are going to want to get a statement about Dayton? Is that going to be the first question out of the chute when we are preparing for maybe the biggest game of the year, and certainly a turning point for your program to win one of these big-time games in prime time? I know their opponent has a losing record, but this has the feel of being one of those games where it either goes from much of the same, wash, rinse, repeat, second verse, same as the first, or it could be one of those that kind of define a program and where we're ultimately going. And I feel that, even though it is with a under 500 Penn State team just because of the way they've been playing and who they are as a program and what they represent with one of the most crazy fan bases in football, maybe next to Big Red. This feels like a game where if you want to turn around a program and keep it going in the right direction, that you need to win.
I agree. We need a win like this.
Yeah.
This is a prime spot. If we are actually on the upward trend in this program, we need a win like this weekend. There's no doubt about it. And no, you won't hear from Coach Rule today. Wednesdays are an off day. No one talks to the media on Wednesday. Matt will talk with the media on Thursday, and I'll guarantee you that'll be the first question.
First question out of the chute. And in a week where this is such a monumental week for the program to take a stride forward, and we really should be, as a media base, 1,000% locked in on Penn State. First question out of the chute is going to be about Dayton. More comments are circulating and trickling in. A Trey Taylor is a top commit for the 2027 class for Nebraska, and a lot of people circulating that once we get Trey Taylor, that Dayton would have been in a fight, even though it's a 2026 class. You have Dayton waiting behind, so apparently there's another freshman quarterback. I don't know what it would be. He'd be a sophomore, right? Yeah. Sophomore quarterback, sophomore last year. So in the 2027 class. Nevertheless, we're going after these kids in diapers. But Trey Taylor coming, and the idea that quarterback room would then again be even more crowded once he arrives on campus. So there you go.
I've often said that when these guys commit to Nebraska. I said, what do we need another quarterback for? I've said that more often than once. What do we need another quarterback for? We got other positions that we need. So when we're stacking the quarterback room, that's great that all those guys are committed to Nebraska, but they're not all going to play for us.
Right, well, 3 or 4 decommit once the starters.
Yeah.
So, but also
anyway.
Nice to have a guy like TJ Lateef who didn't hang in, and despite knowing that he was probably going to see limited snaps, hung around the program, and lo and behold, he's your starter at the most pivotal point of the season for you. So he's going to get his reps. So sometimes if you take the TJ Lateef approach, it's good to hang around.
And like I said, I know there's a third guy.
Sure.
That's on our depth chart right now, and I haven't had time to really look at that. So
it'll be interesting.
I haven't had time to talk about that. But anyway, we'll see how that develops throughout the day today. Let's talk a little basketball show. We've got a doubleheader planned for you tonight. Hastings College on the road playing in Crete against Doane University, the Tigers. Hastings College Ben, they're currently sitting at 1-5 on the season after opening up the conference season on a Saturday with a loss to Dakota Wesleyan. Todd Reardon is the head coach for the Broncos, and he says it's been a struggle so far this season for the Broncos.
Our perimeter has been pretty steady for the most part, guard-wise, a couple wings, and we've added a couple new kids inside, and so it's taken a little time for them to adjust to a different style of play, I guess, a different system. And so it's been a slower process than I had hoped, obviously, and but I still think that we have a chance to be good, really good, if we can all, I've seen really us play well at times in most every game, and it's just one of the games, the game we won. I mean, we had lost to that team like the week before, and they were just bigger and physical and more athletic than we were, and I thought the second time around we did not back down, and that's the way this team has to play. They have to bring kind of that blue collar work ethic and every night, and it seems like there's been a couple games that probably got away from us that we didn't have that work ethic, and so we just have to continue to work and continue to practice, and it's a long season. I wasn't overly excited when we were playing like 3 or 4 games in October, but that's we have to play them, but I just didn't want to play them that early, but we ended up doing that, and so we haven't had a lot of practice time since our first couple games. So we've been playing a lot of games. We'll have some practice time once we get through early, the early part of December, really. Then we'll have a little bit of break.
The Broncos going to be facing a team tonight in Doane that just knocked off the number 3 ranked team in the nation last week. They beat Northwestern 75-71, and they did it with kind of a retooled roster from a year ago.
Oh, it definitely is. I mean, I think they have 2 players back from last year that had quality minutes at all. One of their guards is back left-handed, and then their inside player is, and both have improved, I think, or the roles have stepped up from what they were. They had the Tim kid last really 4 years, but he was a majority of their offense, and so consequently they've added a couple players, new players, a couple freshmen that are starting for them. Mixed in with some veterans, and it's worked well for them. I think they've done a nice job. They're playing some zone defense, mostly zone, I should say, and 2-3, and sometimes a matchup zone. And so, they want you, and they have some size on the wings. Their wings are 6'5", 6'6" wings, with their inside is 6'6". So it makes it a little tougher around the rim to get there. So again, we have to find the open spot in the zone, which is going to be around the free throw line, and be able to make those shots, and at the same time be able to throw it inside and then collapse the defense and hopefully knock down threes or bounce pass for a layup on a back door. But easier said than done, and like I said, they're a better team than they were a year ago, as they knocked off Northwestern. And played really well. I mean, for this early in the season, I thought they played a terrific game, and I thought their size bothered Northwestern from a shooting standpoint.
All right, that's Hastings head coach Todd Reardon. Again, the Broncos will play in Crete tonight against Doane University. We'll have the doubleheader for you tonight here on Extreme Sports. The women's game will go at 6. The men's game, 7:45 tonight on the air from the Haddock Center at 5:45 this afternoon, as the Broncos on the road. First time this season in the conference, with a tough matchup against the Tigers tonight.
Yeah, rivalry matchup too. You get the Doane and Hastings College, and so there's that added intensity tonight. Should be a good one, but it's sounds like it's going to be a tough Tiger team. And I remember they recruited so well. A lot of the names and faces that I saw down at state basketball, and it just seemed like Doane was nabbing just about every single one of them that year. And so now with that roster just becoming even more dangerous, that'd be a tough task, certainly for the Broncos to get done tonight.
The third quarterback in our room, the name has escaped me the entire hour. Dennis helping us out. Marcos Davila. So, oh no! Here we go again. Yeah, we got Marcos Davila on our staff, in addition to T.J. Lateef and Rayola.
Marcos Davila, he's the rival family of Tommy DeVito, you know.
So anyway. All right, 7:53, waking up with Mike and Tyson this morning. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
We will start off at the state capitol, where yesterday Governor Jim Pillen announced 2 appointees to the Nebraska Liquor Control Commission. The first, Bud Seinhorst of Lincoln, has been selected to represent the 1st Congressional District, while James Elworth of Nebraska City will represent the 3rd Congressional District. Seinhorst is the owner of Robnick Strategies and former president and CEO of the Lincoln Independent Business Association. Ellsworth is retired, but was previously involved in investigating, interpreting, and enforcing rule violations in athletics for the NCAA. The 3 members will serve on the Nebraska Liquor Control Commission, each representing one of Nebraska's congressional districts. Appointees are subject to confirmation by the Nebraska legislature. The 2 appointees come after resignations following the departure of the executive director, Hubie Roop, from the Liquor Control Commission earlier this year. Grand Island Tourism has recently announced the awardees of the 2026 Visitor Improvement Fund program, as over $1 million was awarded in reimbursement grants to 14 nonprofit and civic recipients in Hall County. The main purpose of the grant program to increase visibility and draw overnight guests. And the U.S. Department of Transportation National Highway Safety Office is working with law enforcement across the country, including the Hastings Police Department, to work overtime hours for traffic enforcement and subsequent seatbelt violation enforcement as part of the Make It Click High Visibility Enforcement Mobilization, which runs from November 26th through November 30th over the Thanksgiving holiday. During the Thanksgiving holiday weekend in 2023, there were 309 passenger vehicle occupants killed in traffic crashes across the country. 44% of those were not wearing seatbelts. 7:55, 5 minutes until 8 o'clock. Let's head over to the East Side Studios once again for another check on sports with Mike Will.
Yeah, Ohio State, Indiana, and Texas A&M remain the top three teams in the college football playoff rankings. Georgia is now number 4 after Alabama dropped that 23-21 decision to Oklahoma last week. The Crimson Tide dropped 6 spots to number 10. Texas Tech is now 5th, followed by Ole Miss, Georgia, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, and Alabama. If the playoffs were held today, Tulane would play at Texas Tech, Miami at Ole Miss, Alabama at Oregon, and Notre Dame at Oklahoma. Nebraska running back Emmett Johnson has been named one of the 10 semifinalists for the 2025 Doak Walker Award. Johnson has rushed for 1,131 yards and 11 touchdowns so far this season. The 3 finalists will be announced next week. The winner will be named on the Home Depot College Football Award Show coming up in December. Johnson is bidding to become Nebraska's 4th Doak Walker finalist, joining Amir Abdullah, Almon Green, and Calvin Jones. The Nebraska women's basketball team will play Oral Roberts tonight at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Huskers are 4-0 in the season after Sunday's 82-70 win over North Dakota State. The Golden Eagles are 2-3 after dropping a 78-69 overtime decision to Tulsa on Monday. Tip-off will be at 7. Hastings College basketball teams will play at Doane tonight. The Bronco women are 3-2 in the season. The men are 1-5. The women's game is at 6, with the men to follow at 7:45. We'll have the action tonight on Extreme Sports, beginning with the pregame show at 5:45. The Nebraska Kearney women's basketball team lost to the University of Sioux Falls 62-51 last night in South Dakota. Jillian Ashoff led the Lopers with 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. UNK now 3-3 in the season. They'll play at Augustana on Thursday. To check in your sports headlines at 7:58 on Extreme Sports.
Here's a look at your weather forecast, powered by weatherology.com. Mainly cloudy today, with daytime highs approaching 55. Winds out of the south, 8 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, 37. Daytime highs approaching 56. Tomorrow, more clouds and sun. Upper 40s Friday, with a chance for scattered rain showers. Turning much warmer Saturday, with highs in the upper 50s. And that's your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley.
At Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center in Hastings, you can now experience the Balancer Pro lymphatic system, a relaxing, touchless treatment that works while you simply sit back. Using the principles of manual lymphatic drainage, it helps flush out swelling, reduce toxins, ease muscle soreness, and promote total body wellness. Whether you're recovering from surgery, looking to contour and tone, aiming for weight loss, or just wanting to feel lighter and more energized, the Balancer Pro lymphatic system delivers results you can feel immediately. Perfect for athletes, post-op recovery, detox, or anyone who just wants to look and feel their best, because it's for everybody with a body. Come try it today at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Have you checked the time lately? Good chance a Maletta Vista Winery is open. Hey, this is Mick with an update on our new hours. Tuesday through Sunday, we're open 11:30 to 3, and Fridays and Saturdays 11:30 till 9. Not sure what you want to enjoy when you get here? Well, Maletta Vista features award-winning wine, select beer, spirits, world-class foods, breathtaking views, and live entertainment. Visit MalettaVistaWinery.com. Check out our events page for music schedules and more. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook. Make your reservations now at Maletta Vista Winery, located on Highway 281, just north of St. Paul.
All right, Mike Wells, Center Bronick. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for this Wednesday. Again, the basketball tonight, Hastings College in Doane, beginning at 5:45. Saturday, on the road with the Broncos again for basketball. We'll be in Sioux Center, Iowa. Afternoon games on Saturday, 2 and at 3:45. On the air with a pregame at 1:45 here on Extreme Sports. And then on Monday, we'll have the Class D1 State High School Football Championship game for you from Memorial Stadium in Lincoln. Sandy Creek will take on Crofton. That game will kick off at 10:15. We'll be on there with a pregame show at 10 o'clock on Monday morning. So that's the broadcast schedule for the rest of the week here on Extreme Sports.
There you go. One of the headlines that was we didn't get to scratch the last 24 hours, kind of brewing and switching the college football landscape a little bit. Arizona State quarterback Sam Leavitt, who has been kind of recovering from a foot injury, appears to be hanging it up at Arizona State. People inside the situation are saying that he's being actively shopped around to play at a school with a higher opportunity to win some championships that need a high-level QB. So Sam Leavitt is not going to return and finish over at Arizona State this season. Basically hitting the transfer portal before the transfer portal opens, kind of a situation like, I'm injured, so I'm not going to play anyway. Why don't you shop me around in the meantime? That means, by the by, drum roll please, that Arizona State will be rolling with Jeff Sims this weekend against Colorado.
Oh, no. He's coming back. Jeff Sims, the former Husker quarterback. God, that could be in my Blazing Five this week. Who's Arizona
that makes
State
Colorado
play?
a sexy pick.
Yes, even though Colorado is not very sexy.
No.
And they're not having a good year. With Jeff Sims as a quarterback at Arizona State this week, you could see that pop up on my Blazing Five this week.
Easily. It's risen towards the top of maybe my best bet on the sheet.
Oh, we got to at least look at it.
They're a 7-point dog right now.
Arizona State is?
No, Colorado.
Colorado is?
Yeah.
Wow. Is that
a 3-7? It's in Colorado, in Boulder. It's a 3-7 Colorado team going up against a 7-3, 25th ranked Arizona State team, and Colorado's only a 7-point dog. That's how bad Jeff Sims is.
Wow. Make note of that. Blazing Five for Friday. Yeah, I'll definitely take a look at that in my Blazing Five. Can't do anything wrong with what's been happening the past couple of weeks.
Could you imagine if you locked that in early, before the news broke that Jeff Sims was going to be the starting quarterback this week, and you probably got Colorado for around 14, 15 and a half, and then the quarterback news happens, and now you're sitting pretty. If you locked it in early, I think there's still time to walk on over and lock it in now at 7. Yeah, I think that line is only going to get better for Colorado.
I don't know what the line was to open up with.
I didn't see it either.
So you could be right. So, all right. So that's everything that we know here this hour. Again, thanks for joining us. Had some breaking news concerning Husker recruiting in the first half hour today. Got some comments from Husker offensive coordinator Dana Holgerson and Hastings College men's basketball coach Todd Reardon as they get ready for games this week. If you missed a portion of the show, like to hear it again, you can download the podcast in one of our social media sites. You'll be able to grab the podcast and listen to this show again. Make plans to be here again tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock, and have yourself a great day.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join us every weekday morning from 7 until 8 on